No, 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 no. Ay, ay. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no. No. We vibing, we cooking, we react on screen. Real laughs, real food, real moments and scenes. From day one, grind to a bigger vision. One click away, yeah, you made the decision. Pull up, kick back, yeah, you in the zone. Good energy, only make yourself at home. If you rock with love and you trust real few, then you already know what we here to do. Welcome to the nation, yeah, you're home now. Hit that like, hit subscribe, we grown now. Love many, trust few, keep your faith strong. New nation, yeah, we going long. New beginnings, new energy too. Always paddle your canoe. This is no.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and record this here. All right, let me do my spiel. If you like the vibe, please go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification bell for every time I go live, or either I'm in the kitchen cooking or doing a car ride. All right. So now here we have the Family TV bringing some more news to us. Michigan rapper's life fell apart in 6 days. Brothers brothers deceased, mothers unalived, and police, shooting. And you don't know what to say on YouTube and shit nowadays. Let's go ahead and get into this.
Nobody wins when the family feels.
What's the word? Yo, it's Phonique. Just jumped off the porch with Dirty Glove Bastard.
Cash gang came in this bitch with broke. I got Phonique at the door. I ain't talking about no gun, bitch. I'm talking about lil' bro. My fingers at the back, they say Phonique, you doing good. It's nice to see you. Fuck pushing all the peace, the youngest active. I'm a demon.
The entertainment. So.
Yeah. So why did you go to college right after school then?
And I found out that, again, I'm not exactly sure, but it looks like a body or two was found in a backyard.
Begging for help. Now this neighbor wants answers.
Somebody needs to do something. We, the people of Inkster, need to do something. This is our town.
2 teenagers were found dead, and tonight the woman who called 911 tells Local 4 what she saw up close.
I saw him, and his eyes has colors of my son's eyes. I saw my son. I saw my son on the ground, dying. Nobody, a mother, nobody should see that.
Imagine making a name for yourself. At first, it wasn't off your talent, but off allegations tied to taking a life.
Well, hold up. She said you never see sit on the floor, but then they go to this. So they was in a high-speed chase or something? Let me stop talking and listen.
Add attention to music, start gaining traction, and before long, you connected to one of the biggest crews in your city. Everything moving fast, but just as quick as it came, it all starts to fall apart. Not by revenge, but during a police encounter that was captured on camera. Fam, most of my Michigan family might have already heard of this, but within the last 24 hours, news out of Inkster, Michigan confirmed that a teenager who was also an aspiring rapper well known in his community was shot by state troopers while fleeing from authorities. This happened as police were attempting to execute a search warrant and an arrest. At the time, he was wanted in connection to the death of 2 teenagers who were killed just 6 days earlier. One of those victims was his own brother.
What?
Now, initially, authorities didn't release much information.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. But then you said this is... Hold on, I gotta go back on this.
state troopers while fleeing from authorities. Starts to fall apart, not by revenge, but during a police encounter that was captured on camera. Fam, most of my Michigan family might already heard of this, but within the last 24 hours, news out of Inkster, Michigan confirmed that a teenager who was also an aspiring rapper well known in his community was shot by state troopers while fleeing from authorities. This happened as police were attempting to execute a search warrant and an arrest. At the time, he was wanted in connection to the death of 2 teenagers who were killed just 6 days earlier. One of those victims was his own brother. Now, initially, authorities didn't release much information, but as more details started coming out, investigators are now suggesting he may have had some level of involvement. Exactly what? We'll have to wait to find out. But when you look deeper into this situation, you start to understand why police weren't taking any chances. Just weeks before, this same rapper mother's home was shot up, reportedly dozens of times. And according to reporters, she was seriously injured in that incident. Because of that, the family had already been asking for support, even setting up a GoFundMe to help relocate. So when police showed up that day, this wasn't just another warrant. They were walking into a situation they already know turned violent. Now, during that encounter, police say he attempted to flee, which led to a crash involving another vehicle. And tragically, that driver of the vehicle lost their life. As for him, he was shot by troopers and is currently reported in stable condition. So now, you got a situation involving multiple lives lost, an ongoing investigation, and a timeline that's only getting more complicated. To understand how we got here, we have to go back from how we built his name to the events that led up to those 6 days and how everything unravels so fast. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it.
That's my favorite part of what he do. That's my favorite part.
Wish payday came sooner. This might actually help. It's a banking app called Current with a bunch of useful tools. And one of the main tools sometimes it's definitely worth checking out, because that's literally what the app is designed for, helping people like you handle your finances. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Let's check out the video.
When it comes to the rap scene in Michigan, 2-4 Cash Gang is well known in that space for their music and from what authorities has been alleging throughout the years. One of the biggest names that come out of that clique is FWC Key, a man who recently came home from the feds after doing 2 years and been back in this groove ever since, dropping tracks like First Day Out with a little less than 2 million views in just 2 months.
And I'm Cash Gang, it's only right that I go buy a kid too fine. Thought he had mob ties, I finessed that nigga 2 times.
Now pay attention to this timeline, family, because 2-4 Cash Gang, they allegedly added a young man identified as 4 Nick. Just 9 days ago, they released a track titled Belt Boys with over 50,000 views and counting. And remember that video was released 9 days ago for later in the video.
That nigga play him like your mans. Money on my head that makes shit poof if something happen to you. Money on my head if you a kid.
Now 4 Nick is a 19-year-old teenager who just graduated high school just last year. His mom shouted him out in a post. In a post she wrote, "It's my baby big day, class of 2025. Shout out to you, my boy. Let's do this, young man."
Came in this bitch with broke. I got 4 Nick at the door. I ain't talking about no gun, bitch. I'm talking about little bro.
Now, according to 4 Nick's own account, he ain't go to college because he allegedly got a B, a hat. If you know what that mean, you know what that mean. And end up getting signed with Cash Gang. He say he only been rapping for less than a year. Check out a recent interview.
Oh, what's the word, man?
I'm feeling good. How you feeling today too, man?
Feeling good, bro. Here to pop it, bro.
Nah, absolutely, man. Nah, name going crazy, man. You know, I see the fan base going up and everything, so it's a good time to have you on the porch too, bro. And what brings you to Atlanta, man? What else you been doing since you touched down?
Shit, I really been, I was in the studio the other night, shit. I was getting shit done. My tape, you know, that's been a roll out. My time coming, for real, like, for real. So, you know, I was getting that shit together.
Okay.
I'm out here.
How you like it down here in Atlanta, man? And how does it compare back at home in Michigan, too?
I fuck with it. I fuck with it. It ain't shit out there. Ain't shit out there, bro. I swear to God. I really, you know.
Rather not be at home then, huh?
Yeah. I really be out here and shit.
I feel that. Think about maybe it's time to make a move then?
For sure. So.
Yeah. All right, so you from Inkster, right? Not Detroit.
Yeah, I'm really from Inkster. I ain't gonna see.
Now, for people that never been up there, man, is there a big difference between Inkster and Detroit, or is it pretty much the same shit be going on since it's so close, or?
I want to say that shit different. Like it's really the same.
He looked nervous. I was up there like, how many times he gonna keep flicking that lighter and starting that thing? But I can't say nothing. Cause I be doing mine too, just like I'm about to do it and put it out again. Okay.
Inkster, she go down in Inkster for real. Like, she go down in the city too, but ain't like Inkster. Ain't like the crib, I ain't gonna lie.
Why you say that? Why do you feel like so much should be going on in Inkster then?
Cause, bro, it's so fucking small. Everybody know each other out there. Like, we all one for real, but no. Everybody got their own shit.
So it's a little bit divided then, is what you're saying then? Okay, yeah. And what were you into as a kid growing up? Like, were you always playing, were you playing sports or were you always doing music? What was you doing as a kid?
Bro, I was hooping, I jumped right into drill. No, for real, but I was fucking around
He keep
and
hitting that lighter.
went to Taylor.
Y'all hear that?
Taylor High, Taylor High, 9th grade year, 10th grade year, 11th grade year, I transferred.
You must be nervous. Quit.
Transferred, went to motherfucking Romulus. Got motherfucking expelled.
What'd you get expelled for?
Dumbass shit, bro. Dumbass shit, man.
Did you have to go into another school or was that it? You just dropped out right there in 11th grade?
No,
Or?
I went to school.
Okay.
I finished, I graduated. Make sure you graduate for sure. Put everything first that you need, like put your needs first.
And that's it. And that's how
Make
far
your
he made it
peoples
just to
proud, for
graduate.
Yeah. And who'd you grow up with in the house? Was like mom and dad in the house, brothers and sisters, or who all did you grow up with?
Mom and dad, you know, they both got their own shit, you know. But mom, for real, like my Dukes, like she crazy. I know you heard, you know, she be crazy though, but you know.
So what about your pops? Was your pops around too, or was it just you and your moms, or?
Pops always been around. Helped the.
Do y'all notice he's not answering these questions? He's a little bit, but it's just mostly yeah, and yeah, and
Grew up for real. Made a nigga who he is for real. You know, Pop's always been around. You know.
Okay. What's some shit that he's been teaching you that's really stuck with you throughout the years then?
To keep going, keep pushing. He always tell a nigga like, work on your craft, like, you know, just keep going, keep it rolling, keep the ball moving, like, you know. Always been there for a nigga, for sure.
Nah, shout out to Pops.
Shout out to Pops.
So when would you say you jumped off the porch? How were you at the time, huh?
Shit, I'd say like 16. You know, people's doing this shit. It is what it is. Fuck it.
What led to you jumping off the porch at 16 then? Because it sounded like you was hooping. That was probably your main focus at the time, right?
Yep. And you want to live.
Shit, just the motherfucking entertainment, the picture around, like, see everybody doing the shit. You know, don't be a follower for real.
Like, yep.
See everybody doing something, you gonna want to do it, so.
But you're a follower.
You know, motherfuckers pick shit up.
Even if you do follow.
No, the nigga ain't no follower.
Even if you do follow, there's nothing wrong with being a follower of good things. Okay? I'm saying that again. Nothing wrong with being a follower of good things.
Really got his own shit going on, like, nigga carrying his own weight for sure. Like, ain't none of that.
So what'd you do after high school? Did you go to college or think about going to college? What were you doing at the time?
Shit, I've been chilling, bro. I for sure gonna go to college one day, for sure. That shit gonna fall in plan, for sure.
What would you want to study, like majoring and everything?
Motherfucking engineering. Shit. It was some shit I wanted to do. I had applied for that shit, for sure. It was some shit at Central Michigan. I forgot what it was. Damn.
Something to do with music or?
No, it wasn't music. It was like construction.
Oh, for real? Okay. For real. Get you a trade then, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna get a trade.
They'd be making good money with that shit too, man.
Sure.
Yeah. So why didn't you go to college right after school then?
You gotta sound like you making up something.
The entertainment, like, I started rapping. Doing whatever's popping my shit. Running with this shit, paid from it. I'm seeing this shit coming from different ways, like mind you, I got signed. I'm signed to Rebel Music. You know, shout out to my nigga Chaz. We getting it in, bro. Yeah.
Fam, that interview was released just 4 weeks ago, and I don't know if you was able to catch it, but he briefly mentioned, after speaking on his mother, I know you heard about, and then stopped mid-sentence.
And who'd you grow up with in the house? Was like mom and dad in the house, brothers and sisters, or who all did you grow up with?
Mom and dad, you know, they both got their own shit, you know. But mom, for real, like, my Dukes, like, she crazy. I know you heard, you know, she be crazy, though.
Now, the reason he made that statement is because days before that interview, it was alleged that his mom's house was shot up, allegedly over 50 times. And it was also alleged that she was struck in the head by 2 of those bullets. But thank God she survived nonetheless, no matter what happened. And some say that was a reaction for allegedly something that Fort Nick did, shooting up another person's house just the day before. But all this is allegedly. But this is why the feds, or at least Michigan State Police, tried to execute a search warrant. Now, the sad part about all this is that Fort Nick mom had to make a GoFundMe to try to help relocate her and her children. She wrote, "My name is Sierra Fisher, and I'm a mother of 5 children, 3 boys and 2 daughters. On January 3rd, my life was permanently changed in a way no family should ever experience. While I was sleeping in my bed with my 7-year-old daughter, our home was suddenly attacked by gunfire. We woke up to bullets tearing through our walls of the place that was supposed to keep us safe. My daughter was terrified and ran upstairs in fear towards where most of the bullets were entering the home. Officials later confirmed there were over 100 shots by multiple firearms. All I could think about was saving my child. I ran after her to protect her with my own body. In that moment, I was shot 4 times, twice on my jaw and twice on my shoulder and arm, while trying to get my my daughter to safety. I survived, but my life would never be the same. I'll leave that link in the bio. Now, it seemed that situation was swept under the rug, and people started to question Fort Nick's actions after. Well, at least the ones that was really family and not his rap buddies. As we all know, he did an interview shortly after, and then just 9 days ago, he dropped this song introducing himself with 2-4 Cash Gang. But just 3 days after that music video was released, a situation took place where his brother was killed alongside another teenager. Afterwards, some say Fort Nick brother allegedly set the dude up. You see, 2 teenage boys was gunned down in Inkster early morning on Sunday, April 12, 2026. The Inkster Police Department said they responded at around 4:50 a.m. on the 26,000 block of Penn, where they received a call about a gunshot victim seeking help. Life-saving measures were attempted by officers, but the 17-year-old was pronounced dead at the hospital. That 17-year-old was an aspiring rapper who went by the name of Z Willie, also the little brother to Fort Nick.
It's a 50 on the drill, don't need runs, we got taste. I've been waiting on these drops to be so close.
Now, a 15-year-old.
I mean, where they getting these guns and shit from? I swear it's people sitting around in the hood somewhere, man. 15? What?
Who was identified as Los, close affiliate to Z Willie, was also gunned down the same day as him. Officers said on the scene they discovered a blood trail from Z Willie that led police to the backyard on the same block and recovered a firearm, and nearby, the body of a 15-year-old identified as Los was dead and found. According to Inkster Police, may both teenagers rest in peace and love condolences to their families.
I'm Dave Spencer. We begin with a tragic story. 2 teens shot and killed in Inkster. It's leading to a lot of questions. Fox 2's Camille Mary live tonight in Inkster with the latest. Camille, what happened here?
Yeah, this is a bizarre story. It's also very sad. A lot of unanswered questions, but let's talk about what we know. And I want you to look at some video that we actually got from one of the neighbors. So it started all at about 10 to 5 on Penn Street. There's multiple locations though. Penn Street and then one street over, it's Kitch Street. That's where this video is from. So police say that there were 2 teenagers shot, one 15 years old, one 17 years old, both deceased. One was located on the front porch of a home, but that home had nothing to do with the shooting. And then the other victim was located in a backyard behind that house. Police trying to figure out exactly what led up to this, but what's interesting is that they're telling the media that no one is at danger. No one's in danger right now. No one's at risk. There's no risk to any public, but they're not saying anything anything about suspects. So did these two people shoot at each other? That's a question we've asked. Police not answering that, but we did talk to the guy who had an interaction with one of the victims and that woman who videotaped that scene. Take a listen.
I was like sitting there, and then somebody just beep, beep, beep on my door. I said, no, you can't come in here, man, you know. And I've been shot. I said, you've been shot. So then my girl called the 911 and told them that he had been shot.
We're praying for the families. We're praying for the young kids that, lost their lives. I'm praying that we could do better for our youth. We need to do better for these kids. We just lost a 17-year-old and a 15-year-old. We don't know why, but it's gun violence. Something's got.
I'm sorry I stopped on this part, but you gotta do something about them teeth, honey. We see what you be doing. You talking about the gun violence? No, you need to step away from. You know what? Never mind.
To give.
Now, Grady, the first person you heard from, he said that after he had that interaction with the man and said, you can't come in, he actually laid down on his porch, and that's when police actually arrived, and he was taken to a local area hospital where he was pronounced deceased. Then the other victim found in the backyard was deceased right there. So, a lot, like I said, a lot of questions. What led up to this? Who's responsible for the shooting? Did these two shoot each other? Where exactly was the original shooting? A lot of questions that we still have. We're working to get answers. Reporting live in Inkster, Camille Mary, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, Camille, you did a good job of laying.
I'm talking about, she trying to lay her whole Martin Luther King speech down. No, baby. You should have had a mask on talking. We would have never known. Okay?
Out the questions that we still have. Have you noticed an increase in police presence? Are they actively searching the area right now?
Not right now, but this is a really populated area. A lot of kids were playing when we showed up. A lot of neighbors outside. Obviously, it's a really warm day, but people outside, people driving by. And we did briefly talk to the family members of one of the victims who just lives right around the corner. They were absolutely distraught. They did not want to share any information with us or any pictures with us. But still, just a horrible situation when you have two teenagers who have their whole lives ahead of them just gone. Dave, back to you.
Yeah, tragedy no matter what the circumstances are. Thank you for that live report, Camille.
And the fam, when this situation went on, there was a lot of rumors floating around on social media. Did they kill each other? Was someone else involved? And why was authorities saying there was no risk to the public? Was someone claiming to be Los' brother and went to a YouTube video and said the following under a post. Stop lying in these comments. Y'all brother Z Willie backdoored my brother Los. He was by himself, set up by someone closer, and Z Willie and the rest tried to take my brother, and Los wasn't gone. Los made it to the door. I'm the one that posted that stuff on my story, aka Los' brother Risky. We're gonna make this right though. Los wasn't a gangbanger. He came to chill. He wasn't MBK. He had no ops. Y'all set him up, but it's
yeah, but you still couldn't have hung around people like that too, though. I'm just saying.
God work, the truth gonna come about that third boy that's dead, that was with Z Willie before being shot. 3 boys died. The third died today. And if I'm not sure who he's talking about, and if authorities later confirm and identify who that is, we'll speak on it. It's just 6 days after that incident, and you can only imagine what 4 Nick's mom is going through. She get a call that state troopers is at her home trying to execute a search warrant for 4 Nick in regards to the murder of her own child and other alleged crimes. But instead of staying on the scene, 4 Nick had fled, hopping in the truck with the female passenger before crashing into another vehicle that left an unidentified person deceased on the scene. May that person rest in peace.
What the
A lot of
hell?
condolences to their family.
Wait a minute. I forgot about that part right there. About the brother.
As he crashed, 4 Nick hops out the car and proceeds to run, only to have local authorities striking him once in his leg.
I knew something was wrong with his little ass. Oh, you up there doing interviews and shit, stupid ass. These junks are stupid. Damn, they couldn't have tried to take. Damn, they had to come straight out the gate just shooting at them. Shit. Whoa, even try to run behind us? No.
Kind of a summary of what occurred here is members of our emergency support team and our Special Investigations Section detectives were getting ready to execute a search warrant here in Inkster on a home that was a target of several homicide investigations, as well as some other narcotics and other trafficking that was in that area. As the ES team and troopers were getting ready to go into the house, a male exited the house, got into an SUV that had a female passenger, started to drive away from the home. The driver drove down Parkwood. As troopers approached and tried to do a traffic stop, the suspect fled. As the suspect fled eastbound, they ran the red light here at Oakwood and Parkwood and ended up striking another vehicle that was going in a unknown direction. We're trying to kind of narrow that part of it down there of where they were heading. The suspect got out of the vehicle,
you said, Lord,
leaving
that
the
car
female
has seen better
passenger behind
days.
who had injuries from the traffic crash. As he ran from there, shots were fired.
I'm not doing it.
As the suspect went down, troopers rendered first aid to the suspect. 2 handguns were located on the suspect during the time of the shooting. Right now, the individual that was in the car that was struck during the traffic crash has been pronounced dead on the scene from their injuries. We're currently trying to find their next of kin.
Damn.
So I won't be able to give you an age or a hometown on them yet. We're trying to narrow that part of it down. Unfortunately, when bad guys run away from the police, they don't care about anybody but themselves, resulting in this traffic crash. So right now, our 3rd District IRT team is here. They are going to conduct the investigation because they don't have any relationship to the 2nd District detectives that are here. Once they're done with their investigation, they're going to go ahead and submit that over to the Attorney General's office. The suspect is currently in a local hospital in stable condition from a gunshot wound to the lower body, and we're still waiting to talk to him and see what he has to say.
So the person that was killed, they were in that blue car there?
Correct, in the passenger car right there.
And there was no one else in the car? He was a lone occupant?
He was a lone occupant.
And he was driving down the street, or was he parked?
He was driving.
Okay. And the other person, the suspect, that was the suspect who was pursuing one was shot, correct?
Correct.
And so do you know how many shots were fired? And
that'll be all part of where the 3rd District comes in and takes a look at those videos and does, kind of does the round count and things like that. Right now on the scene, they're both troopers have been transported to the post where they'll be. That's illegal, by the way.
I'm sorry if you mentioned this already, but can you give us a time around when this happened?
2:45.
That's illegal, by the way.
Yes.
I know it's early, but is this in any way connected to the double homicide of 2 teens?
It is something we're looking at.
Okay, you're looking at a possible.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, I'm sorry, which do you know which homicide you're pursuing this one?
The double homicide from earlier this week and other crimes.
So. Okay, gotcha. And at any point, did he exit the vehicle like he was on foot? Did he brandish the firearm? Did he fire any shots?
He exited the vehicle, and that's where the shooting occurred. What that happens now is the 3rd District detectives will start interviewing people and trying to find that out. It's a little too early to find out if he fired shots or if he was just armed or exactly what happened. Actually, they'll go through body camera. They were wearing body camera videos, so we'll be looking at that part of it too.
And I know you mentioned that the location, so it was just like Oakwood down the street where this chase, the pursuit began, or with the
Parkwood, yes.
Parkwood.
Yep.
So it was just down that street, just straight down here?
Correct. Yep.
Oh,
about
okay.
0.7 miles from the place where they're going to do the search warrant.
So the red light was Middle Belt.
Hey, Michelle, how are you?
What did I say?
You said Oakwood.
Oh, yes, Middle Belt and Parkwood. I'm
and
sorry.
the house was like 3/4 of a mile that way on Park.
I don't want to get too
somewhere down that road.
That way.
I guess my question would be too. I guess how long was the pursuit? And
It's good to see you.
A policy of no pursuit. So is there what goes into?
So we don't have a policy of no pursuit. We have a policy that prohibits us pursuing for a civil infraction. This was a suspect with warrants and also wanted in a homicide. This is well within our policy to pursue this person.
You were seeing reports online that the suspect was a teen?
He was 19. I consider that an adult.
So what happened? What's next?
So what will happen is the 3rd District is arrived on scene. They'll take over from the 2nd District that is here. They'll start their investigation, and then once that's completed, that'll go to the Attorney General's office for for follow-up and also for her determination of what happened.
And this is connected to a homicide over the...
It was one of the investigations that we're doing, yes.
Sorry, there's no connection.
I'm sorry, yes. Yep, it was part of a homicide investigation. Yeah.
Are you able to say if that person was the suspect in those homicides?
We're going to find out pretty shortly, yep.
And I'm sorry, again, where was the homicide, the double homicide earlier this week?
Here in Inkster.
In Inkster?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was one of several things that they were looking at just over this search.
You know, as of now, it's been a lot of speculation, but according to authorities, Fort Nick has survived. But an innocent life was lost in the chaos. Despite it all, I know many is wondering what the mom had to say. Now, this was before this situation, but she went to Facebook and said the following: Lord, I'm crying out and lifting up my adult children and grandchildren. I'm standing before the courts of heaven. God, you loaned them to me, and I declare and decree that no weapon formed against them shall prosper. I cancel every assignment of the enemy that seeks to destroy them. I plead the blood of Jesus over them. They shall live, not die, and declare the works of the Lord in the land of the living. They shall be successful. They shall prosper. They will/shall receive favor in abundance. I boldly anticipate and declare it done. In the mighty name of Jesus, amen. I challenge all parents to repost. There is power in our prayers for our children and grandchildren. Amen. Guess we'll wrap this video up on this one, fam. It's more developed. I keep you guys updated, but that was the story of an Inkster, Michigan rapper who didn't go to college to pursue rapping. Got a career after he claims he caught a body, only to have his mom house shot up over 100 times, allegedly.
And the
return
body
his
he
brother
caught
looking
was allegedly of his brothers. That shit is crazy. Go ahead, stop that right there. Okay.